All right, so I'm going to show you guys how to take your train parts and switch them into STL files and then slice them so we'll be able to 3D print them. All right, so you would start this once you have gotten all your parts done. All right, so you basically have hitch magnet, hitch peg, linkage arm, linkage peg, smokestack, train body, wheel, and cowcatcher axle peg. Okay, so those are the different parts. You don't have to do multiple of each one. We can do that in the slicer, but basically you have all of these. All right, so then what we are going to do is once you are on one, you are likely going to be on this screen and you are going to switch it to utilities and then you are going to do 3D print. Now, yours will default to manufacturing likely, so you're going to switch it to export and make sure it is STL binary. It is very possible it will be 3MF. So then what you are going to do is you are going to click the object. So I typically do this and then press OK. Now, what will happen is basically this stuff will pop up. You want to save it to your computer. All right. So how this is going to work is you're going to click these three dots and you are going to go to the building share. All right. So remember in there, that might be, you might have to open up this PC and you might have to go to the building share, South Student, ID 2026, and then your period. All right. So in there, you will see something called train parts. All right. Now, if you click on that, you are going to have a variety of pieces. So what you want to do is you want to make your own folder. All right. So what you're going to do is you're going to right click and then you're going to go to new folder and then you are going to type in your name. All right. Your last name. So I already did it. I typed in Odom. All right. So I am going to delete this. Okay. And then I'm going to double click on this. Okay. So what you are then going to do is you are going to save each of these into here. All right. So you will have all of them in here eventually. Okay. So I'm canceling out of that. But basically, the idea is you are going to go to a new part. All right. Got your train body. You're going to be on this. You're going to go over to utilities. You're going to go to 3D print and then you're going to make sure it's on export STL, and then you are going to click on the object itself. All right, it's much easier to do that than drag and highlight. Click OK. All right, and after you've done it the first time, it should default to that location. So notice South Student ID 2026 period 2 train parts Odom. So after you do the first one, you should just be able to hit save and go forward. But basically, that is the first step, taking all your parts and making them into STLs. All right. So part one. Now, part two, you are going to go to your desktop and we are going to open up this Prusa slicer. All right. Now, in this Prusa slicer, all right, what will immediately pop up is this Prusa Slicer configuration wizard. All right, there's a couple things that you have to do. A lot of it you can kind of ignore. All right, so a slicer is what basically cuts up the STL into a bunch of different lines of code and basically slices each individual layer so that it can be 3D printed. All right, so this will likely pop up. The first thing you're going to click next. All right. You could get a Prusa account if you wanted to and continue with Google, but it is not necessary to do that. All right. So I'm just going to click next. All right. Online sources you want to update profiles from. You don't need to do any of these. I usually unclick. Um, I think you have to click one. All right. So, but it will take less time because it's then only pulling from one source. Okay. So now these are all the different Prusa printers, okay? So we have several different types of printers. One type is the original Prusa MK4S. So you want to click that. All right. The other type that we have, scroll down, all right, to the MK3S. All right. So basically, it's this one. So again, you are going to click this one. All right. MK4S. And then all the way down to this one. Okay. That's basically all you really need to do with the wizard. But if you go forward, one other thing you can do if you want to, we always use PLA. So you can click on PLA and then you can just click finish. It's going to install your profile. All right. And unfortunately, at least on your computers right now, it will not let you update. So don't worry about updating. So just click cancel. All right. So MK4S. So this is where you are going to kind of look back and see which one is available. So if either of them are available, you can pick either one. But basically what you want is print settings of this. You want PLA. Okay. And now what we are going to start doing is we are going to start bringing in our pieces. All right. So you're going to hit the plus button. And then you are going to go to the building share, South Student, ID 2026, period 2. And then you're going to go to train parts. And then you're going to go to your folder. Okay. And you can basically scroll down and hold down shift and click all of them. Okay. And when I do that and I click open, okay, this will happen sometimes. Recalculate dimensions, that should be good. Apply to all the remaining. All right, so now what we are going to hit is arrange. Okay. Now, this is in. All right, so some things. All right, so what we want to do is some of these pieces we want to arrange so they work better. All right, so like this wheel, for example, we want to place on a face. So we don't want to 3D print it like this. We want to place it on a face and click that. Okay. Now if we look at another one, this one I probably, because I'm probably going to place on a face. Oops. And I would click this one. All right. So you could also probably print it on the top. That actually probably work better. Okay. Because that way you don't have to use any extra. So print it like this. All right. Other ones. All right. So we'll click this. We can place it on this face. Let's see. This one. I can place it on this face. This one. This face. This one, this face. Basically, the goal here is that you are going to make it so that it can be 3D printed. This one's pretty tiny, so I don't know what's going to happen with this one. This one might give an error. Come on, let me. All right. And so we'll see. So those all work. Now notice the train body didn't come in. So we might have to double check that. Oh, that's interesting. So the train body is super small for some reason. So we'll have to double check that. All right. Because that's not what we want. All right. So everything else looks pretty good. Now what we want to do is basically we have to go. We're going to have to go to expert mode. Well, we might be able to go to normal. Yeah, we can go to normal. All right. So now what we want to do is, do you see the wheel? How many wheels do we need? All right. So if you right click on this, set number of instances, we need 4 wheels. Okay. How many cow catchers do we need? 1. How many hitch magnets? 1. How many hitch pegs? 1. Linkage arms, though, we need to add an instance. Okay. Linkage peg, we need 4 of these. Okay, so set number of instances, 4. Okay, smokestack 1. Train body we're going to have to deal with in a second, but everything else looks pretty good. So now what we're going to do is we are going to arrange, see what it looks like. That looks pretty good, but I am not happy with this train body, so we have to figure this out. Hopefully yours will not be like this, but we have to figure out how much bigger to make this. Okay, so if you click on that, you can change the size, but not sure. You don't want to randomly change the size because you're probably not going to get the right one. Yeah, just on video. Yeah, over that next one. All right, so you don't want to randomly change it. So we want to try. Okay, so I think what happened is it went from millimeters to meters. So let's see if that works. I put in 2.11 because let's see if that's right and see if my science is right. So centimeters to inches. Oh, sorry, inches to centimeters. So 2.54. I was wrong. Oh my goodness. All right, so let's go back and look at that. That looks pretty close though. So that, all right, so we're gonna, maybe this. All right, so I'm not sure if that's exactly right. So if you have an issue like that, definitely talk to Odom because that's gonna be a problem. Now these, I don't know if it's gonna let me switch these around. So let's try it one more time. All right, so I'm gonna click on these and then try to let me, it might not let me rotate. All right, but basically this is the idea. You want it to be very close to this, okay? Because now you have all the parts, all right, in one file. And then what you're gonna do is you're gonna save project as, okay? So you're gonna save project as. And then you are going to go to your building share, South Student, IED 2026, and you're going to save it in your same folder. Okay? So you're going to save it as train assembly. All right? Okay. So let's see. Yep. And then we're just going to hit save. And now if we look there in that building share, so student, it should look like a interesting. All right, let's see if it pops up. Train assembly. Okay, so that's what our goal is. All right, because then I can bring it directly into the slicer and we can go forward from there.